Hey, all you podcast consumers, welcome to this bonus episode of Gayside Stories. I, of course, am your host, Trillificent, and this week I have another guest, a good buddy of mine, and we've been talking and doing some things, so I've thought, why not have him on the show? Why not have him on this bonus episode? And let's talk about these things. So, special guest, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Trillificent. My name's Chip Macintosh. I am an owner of a backyard federation, blogger, writer, social promoter, fighter for social justice. I mean, a little bit of everything.
So, your typical millennial, all hats wearer?
Yeah. Yes, especially one with ADD.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
You're well equipped then.
Yep, hop from thing to thing. I mean, not thing to thing.
Them things. Thing
to thing. Yeah, I mean,
wang to wang.
I don't go wang to wang. I try to stay with one.
I mean, hey, but if you go wang to wang, live your truth, walk in it, just be safe,
My ex-husband did that tons of times.
Ooh, and that's a whole different episode.
Actually, part of this one probably.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. So, the reason why I wanted to do this special podcast is because I have been, having a battle of the bulge for pretty much the bulk of my adult life. And I'm getting to the point now where it's like, okay, I'm in my 30s. And I mean, I don't feel to the point where it's like, oh, my metabolism is like, we out, it's been a good run, but the checks ain't coming in no more, so we got to bounce. But, it gets to the point and you see, losing our legends so early and family members and all types of things going on, and it makes you start questioning your own mortality and what can you do. And then you think about your health, because your health is so vital to life, know, because your health can be the difference between living a full life and, living a not so great life. And with, the current administration of chuckleheads that we have,
you may not have much of a life if you don't take care of yourself.
So at this point, it's like whatever you can do to work on the issues that you have, reverse the things that you can. That's what you should do. So that has been my thinking. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and kind of lay some things out, and we'll go from there.
Sounds great.
The purpose of this bonus episode is it's a mixture of goal setting and accountability in regards to weight loss, fitness, and overall health. We should all know, we should all know how important and what a precious commodity good health is. So now let me say this, given the episode talking about the big boys, this is no slight whatsoever. If you are a big boy and you're comfortable in your skin and you are all caps healthy, flourish, because you can be a bigger person and be healthy. Get to the snacks and get to the dick.
I mean,
do your thing.
Enjoy it all.
However, if you're a big boy and, your blood pressure is higher than a Mariah Carey whistle note, or if your cholesterol is higher than the number of lives 45 tells.
Which whistle note? Because her current one's kind of low.
Vintage.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or, if your arteries are packed tighter than a constipated person's bowels, then, you're actually doing yourself a disservice by ignoring your health, There's a difference between being like, I'm a big person and I'm healthy and I'm a big person and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, and if that's what you want to do, then have at it. That's not my choice. It's not my ministry.
Right.
It has been for too long, and here we are. So, so it's no slight, it's no shade to the big guys, but we still want to be healthy. We want to be able to be active. I don't want to always go up 2 flights of stairs and feel like I need a defibrillator. So it's important.
Right.
And it's not about having, or it's not necessarily, I won't say it's not, but it's not necessarily about having abs or, doing squats and getting you a donk or having that look, quote unquote, so that you can pull that fine man or woman or GNP, gender non-conforming person. It's, again, like I said, it's about not having a heart attack at 40. It's about not having kidney failure at 35. It's about being the best you. And that does not necessarily mean that you have to be built like some kind of model or, a gym rat or anything like that. And I will say this. I realize that I just basically skull dragged myself up and down about 857 flights of steps. But that is the purpose of this episode. All right? So I broke this up into two different, or maybe three different little subtopics. So let's start off, Chip, talking about goals.
Deal.
So what led you, or what prompted your weight loss and health improvement journey? And I guess that's maybe where you will tie in where you were talking about your ex-husband.
Well, yeah.
Which, pause. Shout out to being able to say ex-husband. Like, go us.
I mean,
yeah. It's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's
bad.
not a good situation, but how often do you hear, two gay men talking about someone's ex-husband?
Well, I mean,
I just wanted to kind of highlight that, I don't know, milestone or whatever you want to call it.
And I want to point out that I got married before it was legal where we are. I had to go off to get married and come back. I had to have 2 weddings. It was stupid. But whatever.
It is
how it is. But really what led to it was, my husband left me. And that really didn't have anything to do with my weight, but, overall, my husband left me. And, I had been in the ring running around, and I was hovering around 290, 300 at that point. And my biggest, I was 330. And it was just, to me, I was like, I just want to get down to the weight I was before I got married.
Okay.
And, because I just felt like, that's what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be how I was before I got married, before I got crazy and depressed and started, coping with things by eating secret meals and drinking 12 packs by myself, So that's what I started doing.
Okay. For me, there's about 4 different things. So the first one is health concerns. I go to the doctor, and it's not horrible, but my doctor is, a polite wig snatch, a professional medical wig snatch. You know what? Not even a full wig snatch. Is more like a wig tug.
Okay, well,
you know what I mean? Like, I go into the doctor's office feeling okay, and when I come out, it's a little askew. So that coupled with knowing my family's history, like, there's history of diabetes, there's high blood pressure on both sides, there's cancer. Right. So those are concerns of mine. So that definitely is a prompter. The other thing is, for the most part, feeling uncomfortable in my skin. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable with myself.
Right.
But because I put on extra weight, I'm not as comfortable in my skin as I'm used to being.
No, and I totally understand
that. And I think, I remember, I want to say maybe it was my friend Corporate Barbie, when she was in town and we were over at Nikki's house, shout out to cousin, and I think she was pregnant, and she was talking about, the weight gain, and C-Barb said something to the effect of, you kind of know that range of your weight where you're comfortable, where your body is comfortable, and when you get out of that, it can feel, it's off-putting.
Yeah,
and I definitely feel that.
On that note, because something I always remember is that I couldn't clip my toenails.
Ooh.
And
listen,
and it sounds like nothing, but
mm-hmm.
I really struggled to bend over to clip my toenails.
Yeah, you take for granted those things, like just being able to bend over and tie your shoes without, feeling like wishing that you could just unhook your stomach.
Or feel like you're going to tip over
that
do a forward roll,
And then you're like, if I tip over and hit this ground, I ain't getting up. Life alert. Exactly. I've fallen and I can't get up. You know what I mean? You don't want that.
You don't want it.
I understand.
No.
And the last thing is keeping it $2, $3, $4, $5 is, vanity. And not vanity to the point where it's like, I want to look a certain way because, I want to do X, Y, Z. It's more vanity to a point where it's, you don't quite recognize yourself in the mirror. When you put on weight and your face is fuller, and different things, and your clothes are not fitting the way that you're used to. I mean, it calls into question your vanity because I think we all have a level of it.
Right.
So those are really the things that have kind of prompted this pending journey. So my next question is, because I believe you've already started. So where did you start, and what's your long-term goal?
Okay, so like I said, I started around 300 at that point, and then I came up a little bit after, so I was around 330, and basically, I started there. And at first, I was like, well, I want to be where I was when I got married, and when I got married, I was a 38 waist.
Okay.
So, because I remember, because I almost couldn't fit the pants that I had bought for our wedding day. Well, in the suit, the pants, because I got them tailored and I couldn't fit them. I could barely fit them the wedding day. So I was barely a 38, and that's what I wanted, to be a 38. And I was a 42 at the time. So I was like, well, that's gonna be something, And I figured, that would take me like, a couple of months. And of course, it took a little bit longer because I still wasn't 100% myself, and so I was still eating like poorly and not taking care of myself well, and going on and off. But that was the goal: is to get down to that 38 waist. Now I am kind of I'm in a different goal. So the goal right now is 34 solid.
Okay.
And right now I'm in between. I have some 34s I can wear, but there's some that I have to pray to get into. So I'm working on it.
Pray you catch me.
I mean, you don't understand.
Pray you catch me wiggling into my pants.
It's the power of prayer to get those pants on. Thankfully, there's a little stretch in them, so it's good.
Okay. Where am I starting? I'm starting now. Starting now. I feel like Cicely Tyson in what movie was that from Tyler Perry? Medea's Family Reunion. Starting now,
right?
Starting now, screaming at them damn kids in that backyard or that plantation. But yeah, I'm starting here. I'm starting now. I had some things, some measurements and stuff like that I had taken earlier in the year, but I'm deleting all of that. And I just want to start where I am now and push forward. And one of my long-term goals, I'm sure I have a lot, but I haven't quite mapped everything out just yet. But one of my long-term goals is to have a body fat percentage of about 20%, give or take. I'm not so much concerned with the number on the scale. It's more so I don't want to say the size of the clothes, the fit of the clothes, how my clothes fit, and how I look, you know what I mean? Because if the scale is saying, well, you still a little,
right,
you're still at 2 whatever, but I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, bitch, I look good, so fuck you, Miss Scale.
Well, that's the reality. The scale means 0 really when it comes to weight.
Right.
Then as far as a number, because I use
because we all wear it differently.
Right, and we wear it differently and in different places.
Yes.
And also, depending on what your body fat and your muscle mass are, et cetera, your weight, your weight can look really weird. So, like, what is 200 pounds on one person will look totally different on another. So
exactly. Because, like I said, the body composition is different for everybody.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's one of my long-term goals. I'm trying to go from, like 2, 3, 4 plates at Thanksgiving to just a snack.
Oh,
that's the new thing. Everybody wants to be a snack. I want to be a snack too. Okay. So let's keep it real.
Okay.
Do you have any superficial goals?
I want to. Okay, well, there's a picture. I wish I had it. Well, I can't show it anyway. It's radio. Like, there's a picture of me, and I look at it from time to time. And I'm 22 in the picture, and I'm almost 32 now, so whatever. But I look at that picture and I think, I look good, I am like thin and I'm like fit, but at the time I was 22 to begin with, and I was working out twice a day, and I had all kinds of time, and I
understand
get there, but I look at that picture and it's like, I look good, and that's kind of how I just want to be able to look at myself and say I look good. That's really what it is. I really don't care 100% what other people say, because people are going to tell you whatever, but
Right.
to physically feel and looking at myself, I just like look amazing. That's awesome.
Okay. So for me, of course, I mean, I've already said, vanity is a factor in this. It's not a huge factor, but it is a factor. And as far as superficial goals, hell to the yes. I'm going to keep it all the way real.
Right.
One of my goals is to be damn near naked on the beach. I want to be on the beach in some whole swim trunks. I'm talking about the swim trunks where it's like, are those painted on? That's where I want to be. And I want to be one of the Insta-gay thirst trappers. No, I'm kidding, joking,
with the little truth,
maybe, kinda, sorta,
just a little truth.
Okay. So let's talk about methodology.
Okay.
So what have you actually been doing to lose weight and get healthier?
So when I started buckling down, the biggest thing I did, was I knew that food was my thing, and I was going to need more help than just cutting meals back. I mean, because if I had a bad day, I would want to eat, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, and go get some cheesecake from somewhere, all for dinner. So that wasn't going to work.
Oh, shit.
So
I mean, I feel you.
I mean, for real.
It's different when you're doing it and when you hear it.
But
you know what I mean? When you're doing it, it's like, whatever. I'm gonna hit the Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna hit the Whataburger. I just want to eat. But then when you run it back and you press play, you're like, damn.
I mean,
I say damn.
And that's how I've been. It's like, damn, I used to do this. But honestly, I got on a good number one. I got on a good appetite suppressant.
Okay.
So I use Stacker. Stacker is what works for me, and I know that it does have a caffeine up, so I don't drink coffee anymore. And I try to watch what my caffeine intake is, because if not, I'll be all over the place, and I'm already all over the place. So unless you're going to do a lot of working out, Stacker is something you have to monitor if you're going to have caffeine and Stacker, because you can damn near make yourself pass out. Okay. But doing that, even when I attempt to eat a lot, I can't.
Okay.
Because what happens is that I literally feel the urge to throw up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I just stop, and because I haven't thrown up since 2011.
That sounds. It sounds like. Do you remember that pill called Ally?
They have it still. They have that too, but I just have never used it.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like that. Okay, so funny story. So I worked at this job with this woman, and she was so desperate to lose weight, but she didn't want to change the way she ate, and she didn't want to work out. She just wanted, some magic pill to make her lose weight. So she started taking Ally.
Right.
And I remember we went to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh no.
And I didn't know everything about Ally at the time. She did. Okay. Because I don't know how it is now, but I knew back then when you buy it, when you go check out at the pharmacy, they like, okay, come here, sis. Let me give you the rundown on this shit, because it ain't nothing to play with.
Right.
And so she knew, but she wanted to play anyway. She was she the damn Chucky doll, like it's child's play. I'm gonna play anyway. So we go to this Mexican restaurant, and she eats. And the way, if I recall correctly, the way Ally works is it blocks a certain percentage or amount of the fat that you intake. But it does it immediately. And if you go over a certain amount of grams of fat in a sitting, it will literally block the absorption of the rest of it. And so, if you know anything about biology,
it's oh no.
If something is being blocked, then it has to go out expelled. Somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and immediately she's like, and I'm like, bitch, you singing Negro spirits? What's wrong with you?
Oh no.
And she's like, oh my stomach, my stomach. When we got back to work, I don't know if I've ever seen a grown woman run that fast in my life.
Ma'am, she knew.
And so when she comes back, and she's like clammy and gray and sweaty, I was like, ma'am, I was like, what have you been doing? I mean, she came back looking like she went and like slayed dragons or something.
No.
And I said, did you? I was like, well, I see that you survived. And she was just like, I didn't think that they was that serious.
It's serious.
It is serious business.
Especially when you take appetite suppressant, and people may look down on me for taking it, but I was big and I needed a control, so that's what I did. An appetite suppressant is used. It's going to make you do one of two things: throw up or have diarrhea. If you try to go over what appetite suppressant is telling you, because your body's like, I am full, get this out of me. So basically, I would like order and even now, like I would go to try to order like a large meal, and I'm like, oh, I can only eat half of it. And I was like, wait, that's interesting. And so it just started working with diet, and that was the first step when I started losing weight. And then I started adding a little light cardio. I mean, at 300 pounds, I don't want to be running. I barely want to stand.
Because them knees.
And I'm too old to be going, through all that extra.
Them knees will let you know.
But.
This ain't what we signed up for.
Right. But but walking was awesome, and doing a nice walk, a couple of laps helps. Just walking. Mm-hmm. And those two things combined started the motions.
Okay. For me, so far, it's really been cooking at home more, and the job that I have now, where it's the location is not close to a lot of places to eat, so for all intent and purposes, I'm forced to bring my lunch every day. So I cook something that I'm not cooking super unhealthy meals because I don't cook like that anyway. Who the hell has time?
I mean,
but I cook something like, I'll put something in a crock pot, and it's usually like some chicken and a bunch of vegetables with some broth, and that's kind of like a chicken soup, something like that.
Right.
Or I'll make like a big batch of like lentils or black beans or something like that. Put a little protein in there, like some turkey sausage or something like that. But that's really been my meals, and it's crazy because I started doing that, and then also in the mornings, I started eating cold oatmeal, like overnight oatmeal.
Oh, wait, overnight oatmeal?
Right. So it's basically like you just put the oats in a bowl and you put milk or whatever liquid. I would not recommend water, but I use almond milk, and then you just let it sit overnight, and it absorbs it, and so it's like oatmeal, but it's just cold.
Wait,
and I actually like the cold oatmeal better than the warm oatmeal.
That sounds good because it gets thick.
Yeah, it gets. I mean, it absorbs the liquid just like it does when you cook it on the stovetop or in the microwave, but you have to let it sit overnight for. I think it's about maybe 6 hours. You have to let it sit to absorb, and then you just throw stuff in there like you would any other oatmeal. So I put dried cranberries. I put cinnamon, sugar. What else do I put in there? Like almond slivers, bananas. Cut up bananas and put stuff in there. Yeah.
Wait. So I'm legit right now because I've never heard. I'm gonna have to go get some of that. I'm gonna get some oatmeal and try that because I don't like hot oatmeal. But I like it when it's really thick. Mm-hmm. But most people that when you go and get oatmeal, or people make it for you, they make it like thin as like water. I'm like, that's disgusting. But
yeah. I mean, you'll have to play with the ratio of liquid.
Makes sense
because obviously the more liquid you put in there, the thinner it'll be. So you have to play around with that a bit, but at the same time you need enough so that it has something to absorb. So you're not eating, dry ass oatmeal.
I mean, yeah, dry ass oatmeal.
It has to have enough to rehydrate. So anyway, so I started doing that, and even at work, my boss was like, have you started losing weight? And I was like, girl, what? And she was like, no. She was like, I can see it. And I was like, I don't think the scale says anything different, but she was able to see the inches were coming off, and I'm not sure about the scale because I hadn't stepped on the scale in a while, but the inches were coming off. And even recently I took a picture, and everybody, my friend Bree was like, no, not my friend Bree, I'm sorry, my friend Jessica, she was like, what have you been doing because you are like losing serious weight? And I was like, these lies that you tell, madam.
Gotta trust people.
She said, no, I'm serious. So doing those things has made a difference. And then, I'm going to incorporate a workout regimen or anything. So anyway, let me park that and ask the next question, which is, what additional steps do you plan or do you want to take?
So my office mate decided that she thinks it's a good idea for us to run a half marathon together because we're so cool together. And I'm like, neither one of us run. And the last time I ran, the best I could do was 3 miles. So I don't know, I could do 13. But evidently we're going to start attempting to run. And we have a plan that we're working out. So I'm going to start doing more cardio is the idea. Because I'm close to where I want to be. But the way I've lost weight, because it's been solely diet, not as much heavy exercise, I'm just not as toned as I was, I feel like, because when I was bigger, I was still running around a ring and lifting people more. This is so crazy to say, but, and I just felt like more like I was solid, and then kind of, when all that fat melts away, it's nothing but like flab. But anyway, the point is that the idea is to like start like now toning up, and I still am about like 15-20 pounds off of where I want to be. So but I also don't want to like screw around and like blow myself up again. So I still am trying to stay close to my regimen. Right. I don't want to lose much more weight because people are going to start saying I'm on something, or I got, I don't need all that extra. So
who cares what people say?
Whatever, like he on that shit. You know, it is. And like, I don't want people to think that. But what I do want to say is that I want to be able to, just tone it.
Yeah.
Tone it.
I get it.
I mean, not six pack, but just flat-ish.
Not ish.
I mean, I don't need to be all that.
Okay. My next steps or my additional steps are, I need to sit down and actually develop a workout plan. Because my problem has always been I will go to the gym, and I'm of the mindset of, if I'm going to the gym, then I need to go hard. And the problem is, the first time you go to the gym, you can't go too hard because your body needs a little time to adjust. Or let me speak for myself. My body needs a little time to adjust.
My body does too, so yes.
So if I go to the gym and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get on this elliptical and I'm going to get on a treadmill and I'm going to lift, and then, the next day my body's like, so that bullshit you pulled yesterday?
Not today.
We got something for your ass today. And then you're hurting and sore for a week and whatever, or you run the risk of getting hurt. So I need to develop an actual plan and stick to the plan so that I don't push myself too hard. And honestly, you push yourself too hard sometimes and you just turn yourself off from exercise.
Right.
So that's another thing that I want to avoid. So I need to sit down and make that plan. And then, like I said earlier, I want to sit down and really map out my long-term and my short-term goals. And it's not just fitness or health. It's not just fitness or weight loss, is actual health as well. I have some health goals that I want to hit too. So I want to map all of that stuff out, and so I can have those access. So I can have those points of being able to track myself.
Right.
So next question: do you reward yourself for hitting milestones along the way?
So the biggest reward I gave myself, because I didn't at first, and maybe I should have earlier, and maybe I've stuck to it more. But the biggest one was that when I crossed 75 pounds, I let myself drink again. Because part of this I should mention is that I did stop drinking for like 5 months, and that's where I started seeing the biggest amount of weight loss. Because it doesn't matter how well you're eating when you're drinking 6 beers at a time.
Yeah, because those drinks have calories, friends.
Especially
that
beer.
Cocktail, that Cosmopolitan, that Long
Whiskey,
Island iced tea,
that
that Henny, all of that stuff has calories.
Right, and so
empty calories at that.
Exactly, and you don't even realize it. So, literally, once I stopped, I started shedding weight like quickly, and it was like crazy quick. Mm-hmm. And so once I crossed 75 pounds, which was like in May, like right before Memorial Day, I started letting myself drink again. I had my first drink literally Memorial Day, and it was. I mean, now I can't drink like I used to, but I guess that's for the better.
Probably.
You know. So
I'm sure your liver's like, oh, thank God.
Right, because I could be a lot worse.
Liver's like, hallelujah.
Yes, that's right. I don't need to have
praise him. Yeah, I get it. For me, I have not really done that in the past, but I'm thinking that I may look into it this time. But that's more of to map with to align with my short-term goals.
But I think though, when I cross 100 pounds, I'm gonna have to get some trade.
Some what?
Trade? No. No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just was so uncharacteristic of you to say.
I know. If I just like, said it. What? I knew if I said it, you'd be like, wait, what?
I know what. Right? Yeah, you threw me off on that one. I'm like, trade.
No, I'm joking. No.
Like, trade? Nah. You talking about the trade? What you know about the trade?
I mean, I know what they are. I mean, I'm not really fond for paying for anything. I'm cheap.
And that's all I'm going to say on that.
I'm cheap.
Moving on. Okay. What has been the most important step to you in your journey?
Honestly, I felt like, initially that like no one noticed, right? And literally, I mean, it was for months that I felt like no one noticed that I was getting smaller and whatever. But then all of a sudden, everyone was like, "Oh my God, like you lost a lot of weight, have you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" But people started all of a sudden noticing, and it seriously seemed like it took like 6 months for people to notice. But then all of a sudden, people really notice, and I mean now it's kind of like, okay, I got it. I lost weight. You guys can move on. But now people are noticing a lot, and it's great. Because it makes me feel like, oh, at least what I'm doing is working, and I'm trying to keep up with it. So that's been, I guess, being noticed for what I've worked hard to do. It's what has really been the most important step to me.
Okay. For me, one of the most important steps has been really becoming more in tune with my body, learning my body, and understanding my body's sensitivity to food. Now, when I say that, I mean, I know obviously the formula, you have to burn more calories than you take in order. I get that. Mm-hmm. But for me specifically, I can change the way I eat if I'm eating fast food every day and then the next week I eat food at home that I cook, I will instantly start losing weight.
Right.
But it's a considerable amount. Like I'll mess around and lose like 7 pounds the next week.
Well, see, exactly, and that's how it works.
And it's also just because when you have a lot of weight to lose, you lose a lot of weight. But it's not just a weight loss. I can tell. I feel different when I eat differently, and it's so fast that I never realized. I'm not saying that it's unique to me. But what I am saying is I did not realize the impact that it was having until I really sat down and paid attention to it.
I'm going to say you can eat as many vegetables and stuff as you want and like stuff yourself like crazy, but you're not going to feel the same as when you stuff yourself with,
with trash.
Right.
With basura.
Exactly.
Even if it tastes delicious.
I mean, it does taste delicious, yes. But honestly, though, I mean, like, truth be told, like yesterday, I was out late. I was going crazy. I had been working on the paper and working on all kinds of stuff, and I had to like stop on the way home to eat. And I was just like, I stopped, I ate, and I was like, this sucks. Like I felt like crap after.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, once you stop and then you go eat, yeah. I understand completely.
Yeah.
So, do you use any tools to help you?
Help me where?
With your journey.
Oh, okay, those kind of tools.
Oh my God.
but no, honestly, I do. I use a scale, yeah, and I take, like I said, stacker right now. But honestly, no real tools. Except I'm going to tell you something that's very valuable, and two things I didn't realize when you lose a lot of weight. One is when you change your diet to making it quote unquote healthier. That food will change the way your system works a lot. And there are times where you're going to need a nice gas pill. Gas 6 has become my friend. because literally I will be in pain. Like, I'm like, what is wrong? Especially if you eat something wrong, because part of this is like, I cut beef, I cut pork, and like if I eat pork right now, my stomach is like, what are you doing to me? Why did you do that? And so I have to like take a gas pill. And the other thing is that a jacket is always handy for some reason now, because I'm always freezing, but then I'll be sweating, so it's weird. Yeah. But it's all about the like body being unable to regulate anymore. It's got to catch back up to where it really is.
Right.
But literally, honestly, all I've used is the stacker and the scale. I have now started wearing compression stuff and wraps and stuff, but that's all new, so I don't know how it's going to affect. It's been like all this week, so
okay,
that's new, and we'll see if that helps. Like just a little bit of toning, because this other thing is that you want the definition back. So
yeah. For me, I use this app called Fit Me and Cook. And I use that. There's some recipes that I like, and also I just use it sometimes for food ideas, because sometimes I don't have much inspiration about what to make to eat, because usually when I make food at home, I'm simple. Like I was like baked chicken, and vegetables. I'm not going all out. I'm not trying to recreate meals and make healthier versions. I'm not trying to be a reverse of Ina Garten, nothing like that. I am not the barefoot contestant in the kitchen. I'm not even the flat-footed contestant in the kitchen.
Oh, no.
So I use this app and I look for some of the recipes, and some of them are easy. And they just recently came out with like a companion app. It's like a snapshot app. And it's an app that kind of prompts you, and it takes pictures so you can have kind of like your progress photos.
Okay.
So I'm going to use that as well. I use my Apple Watch for tracking my workouts, and I've also in the past, and I've had some success, when I'm consistent, with MyFitnessPal, specifically the food journaling. Being able to put in the foods that you're eating and seeing an approximation of the amount of calories, it helps.
Yeah.
And when I had the most success with weight loss was when I was kind of pre-planning. So I would go in advance and say, this is what I plan to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and supplements, whatever else. And being able to see it, and it say, okay, here's the amount of calories that you have consumed. And then when I follow that plan, because the way MyFitnessPal works, it automatically sets you up with a deficit. So when you hit the amount of calories, or you come in under the amount of calories that it's telling you that you should be consuming, you're already at a weight loss deficit amount of calories.
That's awesome.
So when you pre-plan, or when I would pre-plan, then that was when I had the most success. So yeah, those three are kind of the tools that I use, and I'm not sure what combination of tools I'm going to use this time. Probably I may even just use those, because at least I know that they work, all together.
Right.
Okay, so what advice do you have for people, struggling with their weight, or trying to start, or at that point where it's just like, I can't take this shit no more?
Here's the thing: if you feel that you feel like you're out of control, you're overweight, you're not healthy. Once again, if you feel that way, because I'm not telling anyone they are. I felt that about myself. Honestly, the best step is to just do it. Research, read, figure out what will work for you. If you need to, ask your doctor. They'll be able to help you as well with fitness plans. If you feel like, get a work trainer to help you, do it. Just have a conversation about it. Because having a conversation is a start. And if anything, just start cooking. Make your own food. Mm-hmm. Don't go to Jack in the Box and Whataburger and McDonald's and whatever. Don't go to those places, because that is what's doing it. Stop and just cook your food. At least a few times a week. Just start like during the week. Limit your time eating out to once a week, and you'll see a difference there.
Right. Okay. For me, first piece of advice would be Google the body types, like the ectomorph and mesomorph and endomorph, and find out what your body type is or the combination, because it really will shed some light on some things. Because I think we've all seen that person, or we know people who can eat and eat and eat and they don't gain. They have a hard time gaining weight, and then we know people who have a hard time losing weight. But there's some science behind that, so I would definitely say Google that. My next piece of advice is don't waste your time asking someone on Twitter or Instagram or someone at the office what they did to lose weight, because more than likely they are going to tell you something that you already know, and then you'll be mad because you're expecting some kind of miracle answer, and there is no miracle answer. There's no shortcut, and that is cliche.
Cocaine.
No white girl.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm not endorsing that.
I mean, I'm not endorsing
quite
it.
illegal.
But
but
those people who need that,
I can't tell you what to do. I can only advise.
This is true,
and this is the advice part. But I would say don't waste your time asking people. Don't go on Instagram. You see somebody who has abs and works out, and don't waste time asking them what did you do. A lot of them offer plans and stuff to help people lose weight. So, do that. The only exception that I can think of, I mean, I'm sure there's more exceptions, but the one that I think of is if someone shares the same affliction as you, if you know someone who has like diabetes or something like that, and they've lost weight, I can see asking, hey, what did you do? Because in instances like that where it's difficult for you to lose weight because of something like that, and if you know someone who has success, it makes sense to ask them because maybe they've done something that you have not. And my final piece of advice would be, if you can, see a doctor and have the doctor evaluate what it is that you have going on, and let them recommend what it is that you need to do. And a lot of times they'll pinpoint what you need to do to hit certain goals quickly, because the overall goal, if you're overweight, is always going to be you need to lose weight. Like, the doctors have no problem telling you need to slim the hell down. Right. But I know my doctor would say something to the effect of, okay, this is the amount of weight that you need to lose. And I mean, they would even break it up. Like, this is the long-term amount of weight you need to lose, but let's start with this short-term goal and come back in 3 months and let's see what you've done. Right. And you need to do this because your kidneys, or you need to do that because of your liver, or you need to do this because of your lungs, or whatever the case may be. So definitely, if you can, visit a doctor and have yourself evaluated.
And they'll also be able to point out things that you may not know about yourself, just in case. That may be,
because you may have something. You may have something that will make it difficult for you to lose weight. Right. But
thyroid issues.
Exactly.
I mean, other kinds of issues, especially women. Women have certain issues that make it difficult sometimes as well. So just seeing a doctor is ideal. My doctor told me to stop eating.
Oh.
She said, if you just cut back a little, you'll be fine. Because I did all kinds of blood tests to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, she did it after we had the blood test.
Okay. Your doctor's like, get a muzzle.
A gag.
My doctor was just like, cut down on the carbs and cut down on the sugar, and you'll be surprised with the success that you have with losing weight.
Those are the best parts, but still.
I mean, it's anyway. Don't even get me started. Okay, so what final thoughts do you have about this conversation?
I've enjoyed it. The best thing I can say is, I am no expert at this. I am no expert, and like I tell everyone, this was a process that probably took me longer than I thought it would, because it was over 9 months in the making. I mean, closer to a year. However, even when you feel like you're going slow or you're dragging, just keep trying, because
just keep swimming.
Right. I mean, if you just keep pushing literally on, you'll eventually get there, Yeah. Even if you're going slow.
Okay. Let's see. Final thoughts. The goal is progress and accountability. So that's the whole purpose of me doing this show, because I want to put it out there. And for myself and, for other people who may be in the same position as I am, we will have an episode in the future to dive deeper into weight and bodies and how that affects the community and all those types of things. We didn't get into it on this episode because that wasn't the focus, but there will definitely be an episode in the future where we talk about that, beyond just the whole no fats thing. I think there's a deeper conversation there to be had. With that being said, if you yourself are on a health improvement journey, I don't want to say weight loss because losing weight may not be your goal. It may just be overall health improvement. It may be gaining weight so that you can get to a healthy weight. It may be just you want to get your blood pressure down, or you want to get your blood sugar right, or you want to get your cholesterol and your triglycerides right. So I'm calling it a health improvement journey. And if you are on one, then feel free to check in. You can tweet me, and we can do this together if you want. So I even have a hashtag, which is the name of the episode. So it's going to be hashtag GaysideFit. So if you're on a fitness journey, or if you just want to, come from my edges and try and make sure that I am on the right and right, feel free. You can tweet me. You can use the hashtag. Let's do this. Let's get healthier together. And shout out to my Ride or Die Bree for coming up with the hashtag. So, with that being said, this was awesome. So, Chip, please tell the people where they can find you.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm Chip Macintosh. You can follow me on Twitter at chicken.
Oh, chicken. Somebody's hungry.
Somebody's hungry. Well, it's past.
Someone didn't have their stack today.
I did not have my stack today.
He wants to eat.
But you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Chip Macintosh. You can follow me and find me pretty much anywhere by just searching for Chip Macintosh. YouTube, LinkedIn,
and that's
Google
Macintosh.
Plus.
M-A-C.
Yeah, M-A-C, like the Apple, not like the computer.
Okay, dope. Yes.
Yeah, and
Indeed.
the other thing, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can find me everywhere. I'm a little bit everywhere, so just check me out, follow me, say hi, and let's see. I'm going to be on this journey still. It's a life change for me, so I'm going to try to keep it up. So keep me accountable as well.
Important note, it's not just, and notice we did not say the word diet anywhere in this episode because it's more than just a diet, because diet it implies a short-term effect. We're talking about long-term, it is a lifestyle adjustment.
Right.
So you guys know where to find me. I'm Trillificent everywhere. You can find Gayside Stories pretty much everywhere. Go to GaysideStories.com for all of the information. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You could listen to any podcast, but you are taking the time to sit down and listen to this one, and I appreciate you all so, so much. And as always, you guys, make sure that you are protecting your walls, because otherwise they will crumble. Amen? Amen. And we're out.